usual. Second LFA 174 preliminary fight. Big boys get the honor. Tail of the tape for this matchup between Alvin Hines and Will Johnson, powered by Inca Cola. Hines is a 32 and Johnson 1 year older. Both men stand 6'2". Hines weighed in 31 pounds heavier than Johnson, who will have a 5-inch reach advantage. Back inside to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA heavyweight division, brought to you tonight by Inca Cola, the Golden Cola. Drink an ice-cold Inca Cola to unleash your inner warrior. Check us out on the web, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Inca Cola USA. That's Inca with a C, Cola with a K, USA. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This striker stands 6'2", weighed in 228.2 pounds. He holds a professional record 1-3. That win coming by way of knockout. Representing Rudy Bears, BJJ, and MMA. Fighting out of Kansas City, Missouri, Will Johnson. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a grappler standing 6'2", weighed in 259.4 pounds. He holds a professional record 1 win, 0 defeats. That win coming by way of submission. Representing Start BJJ, fighting out of St. Cloud, Minnesota, Alvin Goozie Hines. Your referee in charge of the action, Chris Kulveter.
Fighters, we went over the rules backstage. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you'd like to touch gloves, do so now. Head back to your corners and be ready for fight.
Oh boy, heavyweights for our final preliminary bout here in Minnesota. Will Johnson, 0-1 in the LFA, a Bellator veteran, looking for his first win inside this octagon. Alvin Hines comes in at 1-0 as a pro, and he is making his LFA debut tonight. Let's rock and roll. Here we go.
My goodness, Ron, I can hear it. These big boys are throwing them.
Beautiful level change from Will Johnson, and got the shot to the body.
Beautiful knees.
Johnson up against the cage wall. Alvin Hines, 32 years old, coming off a round 2 rear naked choke win.
A lot of action. Big head kick by Hines. I didn't know heavyweights can get their head kicks. Oh, both. Johnson as well.
And Johnson powers his way in and just slams Hines to the ground, who pops right back up.
These are some mobile heavyweights.
100%, 2 very athletic heavyweights.
Hines with the front headlock, trying to snap Johnson down, trying to bring Johnson's arms to the mat, his knees to the ground. Wearing them. Johnson doing a good job, keeping posture. Knee by Hines.
Nice shot.
Johnson looking low, going to the ankle to try to pull and get Hines to the mat. Hines has a very good front headlock.
Yes,
he's
sir.
utilizing, oh, look at that snap down from that front headlock.
And
Tricks the back.
Oh my.
Hines just using his chest to be a lot of weight on Johnson, breaking him down.
And
Johnson,
Hines, as I said, weighed in 31 pounds heavier.
well, he's using that weight on top. You know, and as Johnson gets up, he has to carry that weight. But Johnson has been very patient, a seasoned pro. Not letting the hooks in is important as he stands up.
Johnson, 3rd fight at heavyweight, spent his amateur career and had a couple fights at light heavy. His first win as a pro back in June.
There's that hook. Now that he has that hook in, oh, almost bumped off for a second. So Hines could put that hook in, he could apply more pressure, more riding, and try to break down Johnson. Johnson's base is his knees right now and his forearms. So if he can get one hook in and break those knees down, he can flatten them out and create more pressure and ride and maybe look for a choke. But as you can see, Johnson is feeling that 30-pound difference from Hines. Now that hook's in.
Just past the midway point, opening round. Alvin Hines, the former football player and a tight end, looking to improve to 2-0.
See, as he gets that hook in, he sprawls his hips on top, and it creates more weight, tries to flatten Johnson out, and Johnson has to respond. Here he can kind of stay and try to ride, but as soon as that hook comes in, he has to respond, Ron.
I feel like I'm looking at Shane Carwin right now. You know,
he does resemble Shane.
And Shane Carwin, a former football player as well, great wrestler,
yes,
just like Alvin Hines is.
And a monster.
A monster. Hines finished 3rd place in an ADCC grappling tournament in September in Chicago. Top 16 back in 2022 in Vegas.
He's using it. He's doing a great job of using his wrestling. You know, I don't try to say they do the jiu-jitsu tournament no more, or it's a grappling match. You use all the aspects of grappling, right? And he's using his wrestling well tonight, making the difference. Johnson was building his base, and he took out his ankle using his own leg. Just these little techniques make a big difference. There he is, scooping the leg of his opponent again. This is a wrestling ride. Putting pressure with his left forearm on the head of Johnson, just making Johnson carry his weight.
A dominant opening round for 32-year-old Alvin Hines, originally from Grand Rapids, now fighting out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. And you can hear he brought some of his fans with him to the Mystic Lake Casino tonight.
I'll tell you what, Ron, these two surprised me at the beginning. They were fighting like lightweights, just kicking to the head of each other, slinging, dipping, rolling. It was a lot of action that first minute till Hines, you know, Hines got control now.
And we're talking about Hines being very athletic, but Will Johnson with some high kicks too, very impressive.
It was. I was like, I don't see heavyweights do that. And Hines, and then Johnson did it as well. I was like, oh, I stand corrected. Heavyweights can kick to the head.
Johnson lost to our good friend Ben Tynan. Vanilla Thunder in the LFA. Tynan now moved on to the one organization. And okay, now I'm freaked out because we mentioned that Alvin Hines kind of looks like Shane Carwin, but I'm now thinking he looks more like his coach, Ron Waterman. What is going on here?
What is happening here? Well, you know what? Those are two great comparisons. Hines will be happy to hear that you compared him to two great legends.
Absolutely. All right, Gil, let's check out the action here in the first round.
Well, right hand by Johnson, steps behind the leg of Hines, trips him. Johnson trying to press against the cage, even drops to the ankle with his right hand eventually, tries to take down his opponent. But Hines eventually ends up on top, taking down Johnson. And it was that pressure and attacking the legs, trying to scoop with his right leg and trying to slip his left leg in, create extra weight and pressure on top of Johnson. Johnson had to carry a lot of weight that round, and Hines did a very good job landing strikes in the process, and I'd be happy to get a fresh start on my feet this round.
Friendly reminder, if you have not done so yet, sign up for UFC Fight Pass to be a part of all the Legacy Fighting Alliance action in 2024. LFA 174 begins tonight at the top of the hour. Second round action, Will Johnson, blue tape, and Alvin Hines with the red.
Wow.
And there's some big shots by both men. Hines changes levels, and now Johnson looked like he had the headlock going. Hines escapes, back on the feet, and right in front of us, Gil.
There is a lot of action.
Oh.
Big, oh, wow.
Massive takedown.
Right into the side mount position. 30 seconds of some heavyweight action. They were looking like some lightweights in there, slinging them.
Forget about tight end. Alvin Hines looked like a linebacker there.
Man, that was a lot of
takedown.
action. Both guys exchanging, but Hines landing that big overhand right. Johnson with the whiskers responding. Loving the slipping and rolling of Hines. But getting that big, massive takedown.
From side position to mount. Oh, he's got the arm, Gil.
That's the Americana or the... Oh, my God!
It's over! That is all! Submission win! Alvin Hines remains undefeated! Wow, remember the name Alvin Hines, he has just put the LFA heavyweight division on full notice.
Hines is such an impressive heavyweight. It's so rare you see heavyweights so agile, slip and dip and shooting double legs, doing front headlocks as such. Hines is definitely on the radar as well. I know I said that earlier tonight, but I am not kidding, man. Hines is a serious heavyweight. He's gonna go far quick. My goodness. Big overhand right. Double leg shot by Hines. Good defense by Johnson. But Hines gets up like a lightweight, picks up his opponent, slams him, clears his leg, lands in the side mount, starts working the key lock, Americana, paintbrush, whatever you want to call it. He starts pulling it up. This is such a heavyweight submission here. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That doesn't look good.
No, we hope Will Johnson is okay. I'm looking at him in the corner. Seems to be all right. But Alvin Hines, the blue belt in BJJ, scoring the Americana victory here in Minnesota tonight. Wow. Undefeated as a pro and amateur, went 3-0 in his amateur career, improves tonight to 2-0. And look at Gil's reaction there. You are not you didn't want to see it, did you?
I know what happened. I could see it in my head. I didn't have to make eye contact, man. I don't have to make eye contact.
That's why you're the best in the business, my man. Great reaction and great win. Let's now make it official. Here's Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Chris Claviter, calls a stop to this fight. 1 minute, 2 seconds into the second round, declaring your winner by tap out to Americana, Alvin Goozie Hines.
Works as an operating engineer for a union here in Minnesota. 5th consecutive victory for Alvin Hines when you include his amateur career. 2nd win as a pro, Gil. And I saw the reaction. You were very impressed with this guy, and so was I.
I'm very impressed with Hines. And man, again, when you see a heavyweight moving so agile, you know they're gonna go far. He was light on his feet, using feints, shooting double legs. Heavyweights don't even do that sometimes, man. They're just doing body work, cage work. Sometimes their feet are in the mud. I'm impressed with Hines, man. He's gonna go places.
I agree. 32 years old, extremely athletic, and as I mentioned, heavyweights here in the LFA. Remember the name, Alvin Hines has officially arrived. Well,